Okay. The only reason I'm recording this lecture is because of my mood. Okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't have not recorded this. Right. So in Access, whenever you have to import generic files. Now, what do we mean by generic files? Your TXT file, your RT file, your JPG file, they're all generic file types. CI will always provide you files in generic files, and they will always expect you to give an output in generic files as well. Now, generic files में txt file आएगी, RT file आएगी, and CSV. You will basically do what is, you will import these files into Access. Access is your database software. Okay, you'll come into external, and within the import you have the text file option. Through the text file you can import all your generic file types. You're not importing through Excel or Access itself. So you come into text file, and from here you can basically import files. We will discuss further things. For example, while importing data, what you should take care of. You should take care of DMY and MDY. All your data dates should always be DMY, not MDY, because you're following the British standard, not American standard. But your computer dates will usually be in MDY. So first of all, you need to do is you need to check when you go to scans, is your date DMY or MDY? It should be DMY. Now, if I import this data into Access, do you think so I can successfully import this into Access? If I import this into Access, can I? These are my fields, okay? Contact, address, I can, because I have my first row as field names. I can import this easily. But let's say somehow mistakenly, not mistakenly, purposely, examiner does is वो ये कर देता है. I'll just transpose this, and here you go. And let me just get rid of this, delete. Can I import this into Access? Yeah, obviously I can import into Access, but it's wrong. My first row does not contain the field names. This is a field name. This is not a field name, it's a record. This is a record, it's a record. These are my field names. Access does not accept your row as your field names. So this is why you have to first of all open your files and inspect them. Thoroughly inspect them. Then start doing your work. अगर मैं करूँगा, I would simply first of all read my files. I will see कि मेरी fields कहाँ हैं, यूँ आ रही हैं. No, I can't import them. It's wrong. So मैं इसको copy करूँगा. I will come here and I will paste special transpose. I'll delete this. I can simply get rid of these, and I will import now successfully. Any problem? That's not the only issue. You could have more issues. If I have a comma over here, again, I'll have an issue. If I import this, these two will be separated. This will come in the next column. This buildings will come in the next column. Because I'm doing is I'm using comma separate values. Access will consider all those values with comma and put them in the next column. So you should have no commas in your CS files. Okay, you get the point. And you have to see, do you have to transpose data, and you have to see the DMY thingy. Three things are really, really important. Error handling is very much in your syllabus. So this is why, first of all, inspect the files. Always read the question ahead. I will always advise you, and I've told you before, take 5 minutes, read till point number 10, point number 12, then start your work. At times you'll realize कोई point आगे आ रहा है जो मैं पहले करना पड़ेगा. So you have to be careful with these things, okay? So, well, in order to discuss, I will not import these files. I will import something else. Let's talk about, no. Perfect, I'll use this. So here you go, I'll paste this, and text files, browse. Time really flies. This kid over here I just met, probably the teacher now. He was my student long time back, and now mashallah is grown. Okay, you are very well aware of this. Delimited rakhna hai. Any problem? First to contains field names. Any problem? Good. Let me know where you have your problem. You can go to the advanced, and if you have any date, you should make sure your date is not MDY, it's DMY. पहली बात. Secondly, just for the sake of argument, you should know what these are. You should be aware of all these data types. Okay? Yes, no is Boolean logic. True, false, on, off, male, female. Byte is something we'll not discuss. Integer, long integer has a difference. Integer holds up till 7 digits. Long integer holds up till 18 digits. So, if you have a very lengthy digit number, you can use long integer. Otherwise, integer is good enough. You have currency. Currency is numeric. It's just currency. When they say numeric, it means integer, long integer, currency, single, double. These are all numeric. Okay, numeric itself is not a data type. Numeric further types हैं the following. The difference between single and double is that single and double both are decimal places. Single holds up till 7 decimal places and double holds up till 18 decimal places. Just like the difference between integer and long integer. Date time is obviously date time. No further discussion about this. Text is basically one of your data type that can hold alphanumeric as well. Text will accommodate 255 characters. So you need to properly identify the type of text you're using. For example, मैं text तो यहाँ define कर देता हूँ. आगे जाके I'll just show you कि how to reduce its size. OLE object, we are not discussing these three presently. Single, double, both are your decimal places. Single holds up till 7 decimal places. Double, 17 decimal places. Okay? Right. So, if you need to change the data types, you will do it. Okay? Don't always expect the examiner to tell you कौन सी data type कौन सी रखनी है. This is something that you should judge on your own. In order to practice for that, please log into my website and do my activities. Okay? Past paper में ऐसे points नहीं आए हुए, but you do have a probability that this might come. So please, I would recommend all of you to do all the activities if you're done with the past papers as soon as possible. You don't have time. Okay? अगर आपने activity सारी Excel की होती, तो this activity that came in your mock was activity number 3 on my website. It was there. It's there for 4 or 5 years. Okay, anyway. Okay, so I'm not doing anything right now. I can choose a primary key. Well, you should know what a primary key is. Primary key is a unique key. It's a primary key. It's a key field. 3 names for the same thing. Umar, what's a primary key?
Key field.
Key field. Why would you want to?
Because it is a specific data.
Very good. Why would we want a primary key in a data table? Repeat. No, exactly. Why? What is the advantage of primary key? For searching purpose. You would like to search the data, you can easily uniquely identify that record and search for it. Yes or no? Secondly, in order to make relationships, you know what's a foreign key? What's a foreign key?
To join 2 tables together.
No, but what's foreign key? You're telling me the purpose. You're not telling me what it is. Listen, let's talk about a store, a retail store. Over there you have is the customer table, and over there you have a sales table. In the customer table you will have a unique customer ID. Every customer will have their own unique customer ID. Your customer ID cannot be your customer ID. Your customer ID cannot be your customer ID. It's always unique, obviously. So you'll have another table known as a sales table. Every time you purchase something, it will go in the sales table. Umar goes and Umar buys multiple things. वो आएगा sales table में. So your customer ID will be repeated 5-6 times. You bought 5 things, your customer ID will be repeated 5 times in the sales table. But customer ID in your customer table is coming once. But customer ID in the sales table is coming multiple times because you bought multiple things. So when your primary key, which is the customer ID, is being repeated in some other table, it's known as a foreign key. I repeat again. Customer ID, which was your primary key, which was a unique key, which was a key field, when it's being repeated in some other table, it's a foreign key. You get the point? And the relationship that you create between a primary key and a foreign key is one to many. One customer ID to many customer IDs. Okay? It's one to many or many to one, it's the same thing. Just समझ इसको पढ़ो. You can even have one to one. For example, you have another table where you have customer ID again. वहाँ भी एक unique है. So the relationship between customer ID in the customer table and customer ID, let's say in some other table जहाँ वो unique हो, will be one-to-one. You're expected to create one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship. Many-to-many is not within your syllabus, and you're not discussing that. Get the point? We are not doing that. Is the concept clear? What is one-to-one, one-to-many? Okay, the relationship between
So what one is cutting?
one-to-one is primary key and primary key.
With no tables could be.
I'll give an example. You have an admission table in schools. Admission table में you'll have your student number, roll number of a student. Unique होगा. When you go to library, your roll number might be repeated. ठीक है, वहाँ foreign key हो जाएगा. मगर then you might have, let's say, canteen records. वहाँ again आपका roll number use होगा. वो again unique होगा उधर. So if you make a relationship between admission table and the canteen के table में जहाँ again you have roll number, वहाँ भी roll number unique है, यहाँ भी roll number unique है. The relationship between admission table and the canteen के table में will be one-to-one because both are unique over there and both are identifying the same record. Yes or no? Right? Okay.
One to many can say same primary key की.
Yeah, exactly. The same primary key is being repeated. Exactly. We'll just do it. You get the concept. So over here, I can choose this as a primary key because it's unique. Okay. Secondly, whenever you choose a primary key, it has to have a special property of its own, such as roll number, such as VI number, such as ID. Okay. You can't have names as a primary key even if they're different. You can't have telephone numbers as a primary key. Why not? Because you can have different people having the same number as well if they're living in the same building. You can't do it. Okay. So in order to set up a primary key, it has to be suitably named. It should be suitably good enough to be used as a primary key. Yeah. I expect the examiner is not going to confuse you with this point at this moment. No way. We will not do that. आप simple से primary key देंगे to make a relationship. I'll go next and we'll finish. What I'll do is I'll import the other table as well, which is this one, the service center. I'll repeat the same procedure. I'll make the first row the field names and I'll choose the code as my primary key, which I can. There is no issue. Your telephone number is always text, keep in mind. Telephone number is not. Okay? Yeah, because you can dash, you can have spaces, you can have KFC, okay? You can have even letters. Now, if you go to the design view of this table, what you will see is this is what we have. Okay? In this table, the first thing we need to discuss is obviously providing a screenshot of the design view. Yeah, obviously you know.
So लेकिन while we were importing it, तो हमने changes तो की थी इसके अंदर.
What changes?
सर ये जो हमने उन्होंने डेट टाइम का बताया कि इसको DMY में होना चाहिए, तो हमने उधर से किया था while importing it.
हाँ तो कर दिया हमने यार.
अब इसको फिर से इधर करना होगा.
No, हम कर कुछ नहीं रहे. I am just showing you the design view of the table that we have imported, जो हमने evidence में देना है. This is the design view of the table, which includes the field names and data types का screenshot मांगेगा. So you have to give a screenshot of this. This is actual table. This is the backend design view of the table. Defining field का नाम क्या है, उसकी data type क्या है. Field का नाम क्या है, उसकी data type क्या है. You will not give a screenshot during the import process. No. Examiner will not accept it. Once you have successfully imported data without any errors, then you will show it. Some students do that. That's wrong. वो नहीं दिखाना होता. So what I'm saying is, after you've done this, मैं इसकी बात कर रहा था. Location. Yeah, let's say name 1. Do you see 255? Now this means your first name is taking 255. Okay. 255 characters. Do you think it's suitable? Will you have a name that requires 255 characters as first name? Maximum 30, let's say. So this means you are wasting 255 minus how much? 30 is equal to how much? Are you wasting so many characters? This is just for one records. What if you have thousands of records? You will be wasting so many gigabytes of space. This is known as not properly designed database. Okay? So, in order to properly design database, you have to see the field size and the data type used of what has been done. Okay? If they ask you to change the field size, please remember it's available right over here in the design view within the text field. You get the point? And you know the reason why we have to reduce it? Because I don't want to waste for every data 215, 25 characters. Next, what you should know is which is very much in your syllabus. Let's say the title Mr. and Mrs. I'll come into validation rule and I'll type over here is Mr. or MRS, and the validation text I'll write over here is please enter Mr. or Mrs. Right. Forget the spelling of enter. You know what I'm doing? Now if I proceed further, please concentrate. What happens is, it says you have to save the table first. Yes. It says data integrity rules have been changed. Existing data may not be valid for the new rules. I have data right now. I'm applying a rule on it. I'm restricting my data entry. तो वो कह रहा है, are you sure what you're doing? Are you in your senses? Just वही कह रहा है. मैं कहूँगा yes. वो दोबारा मुझे वार्न करता है कि please are you sure what you're doing? You want to proceed? मैं कहूँगा yes. Now what happens is कि previous data को तो कुछ नहीं होगा. But if I come over here and instead of MRS, if I type MS and if I try to proceed further, it will. Did I type MS?
Yes.
Title में. Let me type MS. Why is it not accepting? Did I do the title? Sorry, I did the name. Okay. I did the name. Title. It was Mr. or MRS. Let's preview. Yes. Now instead of MRS, let me type MS and let me try proceeding further. It says no, you cannot proceed further. You have to type either MR or you have to type MRS. You get the point. This is known as validation. There are two ways you can maintain data integrity. What do you mean by data integrity? Data integrity means data should be entered, should be saved in the form the way it should have been actually saved. Now what do I mean by this? You were supposed to enter a phone number. It was supposed to be entered 7 digits and there should be space between first 3 and last 4. Did I do it? Validation. I was supposed to enter at the rate of sign in my email address. Did I do so? Validation. The maximum length of my username should be 10. Did I do so? So your character, presence check. These are all what? These are your validation rules. Okay? You have various format check. These are all your validation rules. What is verification? Validation तो ये हो गया. हम discuss किया था system life cycle में. Do you remember that? Verification done by humans. Okay, I'll verify कि oh yes, I can see my records are fine. Double entry checking, बिल्कुल सही हो गया. So for validation, what you need to do is, I don't have the internet over here right now. I'm giving you this activity for today. Okay? आपने क्या काम करना है? You'll go into IGCSE ICT theory notes. Over there, you have is validation rules. Please, you have to go through it. These are all very, very important things. I'm telling you that. Okay, for the upcoming exams, please be very, very careful. Okay, because validation, relationships, and making forms is something new added in Access. And since this thing has been added new in your syllabus, there is a lot of probability this will come this time. Okay, right. So I can have lots of मैं यहाँ ये भी कह सकता हूँ कि location में आके I can enter is the following rule is not null, which means you have to enter the location, which means if I proceed further and somehow location को मैं delete कर देता हूँ and if I try to proceed further it says no, you have to enter the location, you cannot proceed further just like this. Get the point? Okay, so that is a presence check is not null, right? What is null? What would that do? It has to be null value. You cannot enter anything. Could be the case. Could be the case. ठीक है? We will discuss all the queries right now. अभी तो मैं validation कर रहा हूँ discuss. जी. Is not null. What's a null value? Space is not a null value. Space is a character. When you have nothing over there, it's null value. So you can't leave it empty. Okay? For example, username. You have to have the username. You can't proceed further without a username. Okay. I hope we're recording all this. Yes, we are. Okay. So let's continue. I'll come back to this again. But okay, we don't have to come back to this again. When I discuss the queries with you, once you go to my website and once you look at the validation rules, you have a list of all of them. I want you to look at these validation rules. I repeat again, you'll go to IGCSE ICT, theory notes, somewhere in the bottom you'll see validation rules. It's a PDF file, download and go through it. I would like you to go through it very well. Okay, it's something that could come this time. It's not very complicated. You have to remember it. Okay, now you need to understand what you're doing. Okay, you're just not doing things for the sake of doing these. Okay, अगर आप यूं पढ़ोगे ना, are you okay with it? You had it. One tea something? Okay. Practical को अगर आप यूं करोगे ना कि just for doing it, you might have problems with it. हाँ? जी? Sorry? जी जी नहीं हुई है. Okay. Now basically what you need to do is you have imported data from a different form into Access. You have successfully imported two tables. You have given a screenshot of the design view, placed in your evidence document. You have performed validation rules on different fields as per required by the examiner. Iske baad, what you need to do is, you need to get a relationship between the tables that you made. How can you decide the relationships that have to be made? Obviously, what we are expecting at this level, examiner will tell you what type of relationship you have to create. But out of the odds, let's think over it, कि examiner does not tell you this time. हो भी सकता है ना, बिल्कुल आ सकता है. कहीं नहीं लिखा हो कि वो आपको जरूर बताएंगे. You need to think on your own, what can I do? Look over here, I have the code. Can I use town as my relationship as a last resort? Either, otherwise, I will not use it. Branch address, telephone, no. I can't use the manager name. I can't use the manager surname. The most preferred will be the code because it's a primary key and it's a code to make a relationship with some table. So you're with me. One of the field that could be used to make a relationship is the code. Okay, my best preference will be this one. If I look at this table, I have the VI number. Yes, I could use VI number to make a relationship if I have VI number somewhere else, because VI number over here is a primary key. But I don't have VI number somewhere else, so no, I'm not using this. समझ आ गई? Recent date, absolutely not. Location. Can't you see something? इसमें वही records हैं जो इधर हैं. Okay, I can do ascending order. I have BA. Sorry. VIN is my primary key, but this will not help me to make a relationship of any kind. Why? दूसरे टेबल में है ही नहीं VI number, so no advantage. All the primary keys को बनाना था. Primary keys से बनाना था because I had to add a field that could uniquely identify my record, that is VI number. But VI number is not there for my relationship. It's for some other purpose. The only reason for your primary key and secondary key is not only to make relationships. There are other reasons for that as well. ठीक है. Name, address. So I can't use any of these to make a relationship. I have this over here. I have BA, I have CS, GO. Yes, exactly. ये वही हैं records जो ये हैं. So is this not one? Is this not many? Are these not many BA, many CH? So the relationship that I will have between the code and the location will be one to many. मगर हमने एक बहुत important चीज़ और सीखी है इसमें क्या? कि when we make a relationship between two tables, what is the thing we look at, Umar? Do we look at the field names? Am I giving any preference to my field names? No. यहाँ location है, वहाँ code है. Doesn't make a difference. Field names could differ. So what do I think? What do I have to think over when I make a relationship? Is the records. मुझे records देखने हैं. Do the records coincide? Yes, my records coincide. So this is what I have to look at. So this is why we spend time and we have to make everything right. If your relationship goes wrong, your report goes wrong and you're not getting any marks for it. Okay? So you have to be very, very careful about this. I'll tell you a very good way how you can save yourself. अभी बताता हूँ मैं आपको. No one else will tell you that. It's there in my lectures as well. So if I make a relationship between the two tables, you have whatever I'm doing, the procedures आप लोग सारे कर चुके हो ना, you know it. Good. Do it again. Okay. मैं इसलिए ज़्यादा I'm not talking about things. I just come to database tools. I come to relationships. I select the tables I have, add किया. Okay, and Now I know what I have to do. So I have to make a relation between the code and location. Remember, I click on this. This is what I get. I will take a screenshot using the snipping tool of this. Okay, unless and until your school doesn't want you to use snipping tool, I have no problem, but I will allow you to use snipping tool, and there's a valid reason for that. Okay, so you save this. Okay, and whenever you provide data within your evidence document, please label it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Write in one sentence explaining what the screenshot is. Don't assume the examiner will know everything. Explain the examiner, facilitate the examiner, tell the examiner what you're doing. You make the examiner happier, your examiner will make you happy.
सर अगर हम कोई एक्स्ट्रा स्क्रीनशॉट प्रोवाइड करें तो
You can, but it should not be very unnecessary.
लाइक
If you feel,
माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में हमें कहते हैं पेज ओरिएंटेशन का आप करें
आप दे दो, बिल्कुल दे दो.
और अगर मार्जिन तो वो नहीं कहता लेकिन हम दे दें
Unnecessary ना दो. अगर उस पॉइंट्स के मार्क्स हैं, you do it, even if it's not asked. I tell my students that. बिल्कुल I do tell them.
सर आपके भी कोई डिस्टिंक्शन नहीं है ना?
No बेटा, इस साल मेरी नहीं है. Last consecutive 5 years आई थी, इस साल नहीं है. अब distinction is not about all about teachers. Whenever all my 5 students got distinctions, मैंने assembly में announce किया था कि it's not me only. There's a lot of things that count. Even the administration is there. The student plays a vital role. 70% student का role होता है. Teacher का सिर्फ 20% होता है. 10% admin का role होता है. When you don't get a very good badge, what can you do? You can bring a C grade student to an A or A star, but you can't make that student a distinction holder. Getting C grades and A, I think so, is a distinction for the parents, and they should realize the fact. This is always I say, okay? So, but race में हम इस बात को realize नहीं करते actually. Frankly speaking, I'm recording this well. JT should get distinctions every year. There's a reason for that. सारी क्रीम लेके आते हैं, क्यों नहीं देते डिस्टिंक्शन? When you have, हर साल आनी चाहिए आपकी, हर साल आनी चाहिए, क्यों नहीं आती? है ना? It should be every year. Okay, but अगर पैरागॉन में आती है, तो I think so it's a very good.
सॉफ्टवेयर पर आएंगे तो कैसे
Exactly. So there's 20% lag कर गया ना, है ना? क्योंकि frankly speaking, for years I've been teaching GT as well. They put an effort themselves a lot. जब बच्चा खुद नहीं एफर्ट करेगा तो यार मेरा काम इंडियन 80% मेरा काम ही कम हो जाएगा, तो डिसीजन क्यों नहीं आएगी? उनके दिस वाई सेड कि उनको तो हर साल आनी चाहिए डेफिनेटली. एनीवे, खैर वैसे दिस ईयर आई वाज नॉट इवन आई वाज स्लाइटली एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था फ्रॉम वन ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट. आई वोंट कॉल से द नेम, मगर ठीक है, डजंट मैटर. मगर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह the result this time in both branches was excellent. I'm very happy. 90% is an A stars, both branches. So fine. इस साल I'm expecting again inshallah. Both 1 day level. Student का group बहुत अच्छा है. So here you go. I've created this. Once again, please. This is what you need to provide. It's important. You can't miss it out. Okay. I will close this, and I will even take a screenshot of this and place it in my evidence document. एक उस विंडो की और एक इसकी दोनों की. You may even do this. Enforce reference integrity and show this one to many. You may do this as well. Okay. The only reason I don't want this to happen is because at times it creates a problem. मगर आपको नहीं होगा, आप लोग कर लो.
सर वो अगर ये करते तो सर हम सिंगल स्क्रीनशॉट लगानी है, दोनों लगानी है?
दोनों आपने दोनों लगानी है. जी जी बेटा, all I did was मैंने इसको क्लिक कर दिया, enforce referential integrity. It's telling me what type of relationship I made. ठीक है? अच्छा. So can I just let's just see what we're doing. हमने रिलेशनशिप भी बना ली है. Okay. Now what I want to do is, हम कर क्या रहे हैं? हमने डेटा उठाया है कहीं और से, रॉ सोर्स से, such as txt file. Okay, it's not proper database. It's a flat file database. It's not an RDBMS. Flat file is Excel, Notepad, Word. RDBMS is relational database management system such as Access. Oracle is one of the best RDBMS software you can find anywhere. Okay, but Oracle obviously is pretty expensive as well, right? So अब मैंने क्या करना है, I need to filter out records. हम filtering इसको नहीं कहते हैं, हम इसको कहते हैं SQL, sequential query language. Okay, we don't apply filters. We apply filters in spreadsheets, in Excel, not over here, please. Please don't use the word filtering over here. So how will I do it? If I say I would like to create a report. So first of all, in order to create a report, I'll come to create query, query design, and I will add the following fields.
So query wizard
Beta no, query wizard use करते हैं आप. Why query wizard?
हमें वो कराइए.
क्यूरी डिजाइन का पता ही नहीं, क्यूरी कितनी शुरू से करते हैं पास.
Query wizard का एक purpose होता है. Query design is something you should know. I'll tell you why. Now you can see over here is, do I have a repetition of records? No, these are not the same records. इनके नाम भी different आ रहे हैं, and you can even see their registration date is also different. So they are not the same records. पहली बात ये. You get the point?
तो ये क्या चीज़ थी
Umar, why don't you concentrate? You thinking about something when I'm teaching?
सर?
Nothing. Are you concentrating?
सर हो रहा सर.
Okay. What I'm saying is, are they these unique records or not? Yes, dear.
मतलब आपकी फीड ही हो गई कर ली हमने फीस हमने पढ़ा.
Are these unique records or not?
Yes, sir.
How? How are they unique records?
सर एक वो नहीं है सर. ये नहीं.
Same. Not same. Not same. Same. Even if one of the item is different, it's not unique. You get the point?
Yes.
You get the point? अच्छा, मैं ये क्यों explain कर रहा हूँ? I'll tell you why. Please look at this. This is an important point I want you to consider. I hope I'm recording this as well. I am. What I'll do is I'll just make a change over here, just for explanation. I'll delete this, and मैं कहता हूँ मैं code का बना देता हूँ. Let's say registration date के साथ. This is date. This is code. If I run this, it says type mismatch expression. This is one of the errors that you will face if you make a wrong relationship. Type mismatch का मतलब क्या है? Data type mismatch. वो आपको बता रहा है इसकी data type कुछ और है, इसकी data type कुछ और है. Are you in senses अब कर क्या रहे हो? How could you make a relationship between two fields of different data type? So type mismatch का मतलब ये होता है data type mismatch. Please remember that. Don't forget it. ठीक हो गया? No. मैं चाहता हूँ कि let's make code or VI number, for example. Oops, I don't get anything at all. When you got no output at all, this means again the relationship is wrong. पहला type mismatch का error आ रहा है. Second क्या हो रहा है? You don't get any record at all. Third option क्या हो सकती है? Let's see. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can't do it. Let's see. Let me make a relationship between. No, actually base example मैं कर नहीं मैं सकूँगा, but I'll just try to explain you just like that. होगा क्या? This will happen rarely. मगर होगा ये कि यही जो record है, for example ये वाला record, यही repeat हो रहा होगा 4 times, और यही record 4 times, यही record 4 times. But you will see is उसमें each and everything will be the same. Each and every एक चीज़ भी different नहीं होगी. पूरा record is being repeated 4 times. When a repetition of record occurs, this means what? Your relationship is wrong. This is why I started by saying कि ये सारे records different हैं. ये सही है. Why is it important to talk about this? This because this could be a case where the examiner can confuse you even at this level कि relationship आपका सही बना है कि नहीं बना. I'm telling you 3 ways. In कोई 4th तरीका और नहीं है. So don't be afraid. पहला तरीका type mismatch. Second तरीका no output. Third तरीका repetition. Is it clear? So you're very well aware of the fact that your relationship is right. Any problem? Let's start with queries. Well, all of you know this. मैं basic से start कर लेता हूँ from the very basic. I want only the location to be CH. Yes, you know CH आएगा. You want this to be CH or what was it? RA. I want CH or sorry, or RA. If I run this, I get CH or RA. बिल्कुल ठीक है. You are aware of this. बिल्कुल ठीक है. Let's talk about something more. Um, you do know what do we mean by S star
That end
that starts with S? Very good. You do know what do we mean by, let's say, star E?
ends with an E.
Excellent. But there is no one in the start that ends with E. You know what I'm saying, right? Umar,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying.
Star is the SS
Star, there are different wild cards available. An excellent player. Star represents all the 256 characters. Yes or no?
Yes.
So S star means कि it should start with S. और उसके बाद I can have any of the 256 characters that I have in my system. If I have star, it means कि E end पे आ रहा है मगर E से पहले कोई भी characters हो सकते हैं. If I have star E star, it means what? That I have E anywhere in my name. You get the point? ठीक है. I was not going to discuss this, मगर मैंने एक point discuss करना था इसके लिए मुझे करना पड़ रहा है. CH and I'll make it S. I'll make it as S star. Now if I run this, what's happening? What do I mean by this? I have the output. Tell me what's happening. Look at the output and look what I've done. पहले output देख लो. Yes. Please have a look again. मैंने क्राइटेरिया में लिखा है. ये सारे क्राइटेरियाज हैं. ये सारे नीचे क्राइटेरियाज आ सकते हैं. What I'm trying to do is, I want the location to be CH or the name to be starting from S. So if I run this, you'll see over here is, I have, if the location is CH, it's not starting with S. If it's not if it's not CH, it's starting with S. कहीं ना कहीं ये condition fulfill होगी, कहीं ना कहीं ये condition fulfill होगी, because it's this or this. So what I'm trying to explain over here is that whenever we use this or is different. This or is for the fields. आपने नोट किया होगा कि यहाँ जब मैंने लिखा था or RA, was it RA, right? You see what's happening? I want you to look at this point. This point. You see this or and you see this or, इसका O capital है, इसका O small है. Obviously, excess people want to let you know कि वो और का मतलब कुछ और है, उस और का मतलब कुछ और है. They are not the same thing. This or is within a field. This or is between the fields. And if you want to compare between fields, you go diagonally. Keep on going diagonally. This field or this field or this field or this field.
So इसको हम ऊपर लिखें.
You give me the answer, Umar. She's saying if I do this, why am I after Umar? I'm not after Umar. What do I mean by this?
से वो CH का और ऐसे
दोनों
एग्जांपल
का S वाला.
So,
मतलब उसका लोकेशन CH और उसका नेम है.
तो technically speaking क्या है ये and है. ये and नहीं है. I'm saying कि it should be CH and starting with S. So if you write in one line, you're talking about and. Let me give you proof of this. If you don't get confused and don't start vomiting, come into the SQL view. In the SQL view, I just don't want to confuse you. You see what's happening? And is appearing over here. मैं आपका SQL view आपको ज़्यादा ज़रूरत देखने के लिए मगर देखने की ज़रूरत इसलिए भी है.
ये कैसे ओपन किया?
From here, view, design view, SQL view. SQL view की जब से last line पढ़ लिया करो सिर्फ ये. क्या कह रहा है आपको? And. क्यों मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको? At times confusion हो सकती है. For example, किसी भी statement में. For example,
अगर वो और का हम O small डालें तो वो different आएगा.
जी वो different आएगा. Let me show you this. You see what's happening? अब ये और हो गया. So, what I'm saying is right. We're talking about or, we're talking about and. You get the point? What if the examiner confuse you between two fields with an and three fields with an or? भाई हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं हो सकता? इस लेवल तक examiner पूछ सकता है आपसे. Right? So, again, you have to do some of my activities for this, right? Through which, आज मैं आपको सिर्फ validation rule का कह रहा हूँ. I'm not giving an activity. Tomorrow I'll give you an activity to do for the week to come. I'll give you 3-4 activities that you have to do. एक्सेस की, ठीक है ना? आज मैं इसलिए नहीं करें बिकॉज कल तक मैं पॉइंट्स खत्म करूँ, देन आई कैन गिव यू एन एक्टिविटी. अभी दरमियान में नहीं दे सकता. आज तक वैलिडेशन रूल को देख लेना. Right. So, is this point clear? You know how to distinguish between two fields with an and an or. Any problem? You know about wildcards. More. You should know is this. What I'm saying is this. For example, I want to find all those names that have A as a second character. How can I do that? I want to find the names that have A as a second character. What do I type? Star? No, one star is enough. You don't need 2 stars. Star? Huh?
Star.
I want the second character to be A. You're quite close. You are quite close. Question mark? Second character to be A ना? तो पहला character हो गया question mark, दूसरा character A हो गया, और A के बाद कुछ भी आ सकता है. यही है ना? Because question mark represents one character. Excel में करा चुका हूँ मैं आपको. Remember? Question mark represents any one of the 256 characters. But star represents all of them.
So अगर third letter हो तो हम 2 question mark.
Very good. अगर second last हो तो क्या करेंगे? अगर second last A होता, star,
A and B.
excellent. Star A question mark. अच्छा इसमें एक problem है. When I click over here ना, see what happens. It says the expression you wanted is wrong. बिल्कुल जाहिर है वो कहेगा. क्योंकि whenever you use 2 wild cards together, you need to put them double quotes. Please इसको note down कर लो, बड़ी important चीज़ है, भूलना नहीं. Because I'm using 2 wildcards. I'm using this wildcard and I'm using this wildcard. I'm using 2 wildcards together. So I need to put them double quotes. अब इसको अब run करूँगा. Click here. I have no problem. It will show me all those names that have A as a second character, and it does. Any issue? Sure. Very good. ठीक है. Record हो रहा है ना? Yes, हो रहा है. Okay. Let's proceed further. So we have other things as well. We have the date. If I want to find between this date and this date, you can use between this date and this date. मैं आ रहा हूँ उसको. I'm coming there. पहले मैं finish कर लूँ, then I'll come there, okay? Because new field में functions भी आते हैं, बहुत कुछ आता है. Okay. So you know how to use between. For example, I have is month day here. No? I want is 1/1/2008 and greater than equal to and less than or equal to. Let's have it as 12/1/2008. If I run this, I get nothing. Why? हाँ? नहीं हैशटैग तो आएगा ना. 2008 ही था. Let's check again. 2008 है ही नहीं. I'm sorry. We can have is 2003. So I get the dates between these 2 dates. Perfectly fine. मतलब
खाली 2003 के हैं.
जी वो तो फिर आप सिंपल स्टार ऑन 3 स्टार भी लिख सकते हो. बिल्कुल ठीक है. What I'm trying to say is you can even write this, or you can even write is this between one date लिखो and the other date. आप between भी यूज़ कर सकते हो. समझ आ गई? So between भी यूज़ कर सकते हो या greater than or equal to भी यूज़ कर सकते हो. Both are perfectly fine for dates, for numeric values, for anything. Any problem? ये comparison operators हैं. So I've discussed with you the comparison operators. I've discussed with you the wildcards. And we've discussed how to distinguish between the operands, which is the or and the and. Any problem with that? Anyone? Sure? But what's your full name? Haris, right. Haris. Wa alaikum assalam. Okay. So, let's proceed further. Okay. मैंने सारी डिस्कशन नहीं की. अभी मैं सिर्फ बेसिक कर रहा हूँ सिलेबस के मुताबिक. ऑब्वियसली एडवांस एज सुन एज पॉसिबल. हम नेक्स्ट वीक से नेक्स्ट वीक हम एडवांस रिवीजन स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. ओके, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट वीक आई थिंक सो one day we can do Word and one day we can do PowerPoint easily enough. एक दिन काफ़ी है. उससे अगले वीक मैं एडवांस रिवीजन स्टार्ट करूँ कि टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास. आई हैव टू.
जिन बच्चों को पहले हो जाएगा तो उनके लिए तो मुश्किल होगा होने लेकिन आफ्टर नहीं उनके लिए क्लासेस होगी फिर
हाँ बेटा मैं लूँगा. आप जिनकी भी होगी मैं लूँगा क्लास. ऑब्वियसली कमिटमेंट इज कमिटमेंट. आई हैव टू. 2 बच्चे भी आएंगे. आई हैव टू फुलफिल इट ना. मेड अ कमिटमेंट. ओके सो जी बेटा सारा रिपीट होगा मगर अब बहुत फास्ट होगा. अब उस तरह मैं रिपीट नहीं करूँगा बिकॉज मैं एकदम में रिपीट करके मैं एडवांस पॉइंट्स पे आ जाऊँगा जल्दी से. एडवांस पॉइंट्स एंड एक्टिविटीज़. ओके दिस इज़ व्हाट आई डू एवरी ईयर. क्योंकि उन्हीं चीज़ की रेपिटेशन कराना इज टाइम वेस्टेज. मैं करूँगा नहीं वो. ओके नाउ और एडवांस पॉइंट्स कराने बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं टू अचीव एन ए स्टार फॉर मैनी स्टूडेंट्स. ये फ़ायदा हो जाता है. तो मैंने हर साल देखा फ़ायदा होता है. ओके रन टाइम कैलकुलेशंस लाइक ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट इज व्हेन यू वांट to create a new field that will be doing something. Do I have any I don't have any numeric field. मैं क्यों database open कर लूँ just for the sake of discussion. Again आपको पता है योर ऑल योर डेटाबेस कहाँ सेव होती है एक्सेस की. वेयर डज इट गो. वेयर इज़ योर डेटाबेस सेव्ड बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट. इन माय डॉक्यूमेंट्स. ऑल योर डेटाबेसेस गो ओवर देयर. ओके व्हाई वुड आई हैव एन एम्प्टी डेटाबेस. व्हाई डू आई हैव ओनली कार सेल्स. I seem to love this table a lot. Good. At last. Magar, could I assume that flight reference is price? Could we assume? Okay. मैं सिर्फ assume कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है? So let me just add this and let me add the following. So if I want to create a new field, I could name it anything. I could say is जो the flight ref divided by 2. This means I have created a new field that is displaying me half of the flight reference, which means I can create a new field at runtime that could multiply by a particular amount, divide, minus, subtract, whatever. Point क्या है? Point ये है कि this is of big advantage. ये जो field थी ना, this was not in my existing table. Table में नहीं थी. मैंने query में ऐड किया. This is the advantage of a query. Query does not temper your original table. आपका table उसी तरह रहेगा. Table को हम temper नहीं किया. Query में you can do anything. Okay, multiply one field by the other field. Okay, if I had another field, for example, I don't have any numeric field right now. अगर होती तो no problem. मैं ये कर सकता था. Divided by, let's say, another किसी और field, numeric field से. एक फील्ड को दूसरे फील्ड से डिवाइड करके थर्ड फील्ड बना दो. यू गेट द पॉइंट.
सर वो के प्राइस की 25%
यस नो प्रॉब्लम. व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज कि फ्लाइट रेफरेंस प्लस 25 डिवाइडेड बाय 100 इनटू फ्लाइट reference. So 25% of that has been added to it. You get the point. Is this what you're asking me?
ये बिल्डर से भी बात करते हैं.
Why would you do that?
so that's easy.
Builder की जरूरत नहीं है. Killing a fly with a bullet again. Why would you do that? Okay.
फ्लाइट रेफरेंस ये हम वो तो पढ़े थे.
जी आपने मुझे कहा है कि फ्लाइट रेफरेंस में 25% ऑफ फ्लाइट रेफरेंस ऐड करें. तो मैं 25% ऑफ फ्लाइट रेफरेंस इसमें ऐड नहीं कर रहा. This plus 25% of this.
सर मैंने कहा था कि फ्लाइट रेफरेंस का सिर्फ 25% आएगा.
तो अब नो इशू. Yes or no? Any problem? मैं बार बार एक पॉइंट डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. वेरिफिकेशन इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट. हमेशा आउटपुट को वेरीफाई कर लिया करो कि क्या आउटपुट वही आ रही है जो आप चाह रहे हो. समटाइम्स वी आर वेरी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट कि नहीं ऑब्वियसली मैंने सही किया, नहीं कोई गलती की होती है हमने, तो वेरीफाई कर लोगे आप, दाएं पता चल जाएगा नहीं आप गलत कर रहे हो। ओके, एंड 25% ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स CIs में रियलाइज करते हैं कि वेरिफिकेशन से उनका डेटा सही होगा, शुक्र मैंने चेक कर लिया। मुझे कितने 12 बताते हैं सर मैंने शुक्र चेक कर लिया, लास्ट 15 मिनट्स में मेरे 2-3 रिपोर्ट्स ख़राब हो रही थी एंड वी डिड बिकॉज वेरिफिकेशन। ओके, तो बड़ा दुख होता है ना, इतनी तैयारी के बाद जाओ सिर्फ एक डॉट की वजह से, एक क्वेश्चन मार्क की वजह से, एक स्टार की वजह से you're losing 6-7 marks. Okay, I don't want that to happen with you, with any of my student, in fact with any student. Okay, right, so this was your basic calculation. Have you discussed some of the basic functions over here? It's not advanced points, it's very much in your syllabus, functions and access, syllabus mein likha hua hai. What we can do is I can create a new field at runtime that displays the first two characters of the flight code. So first initials of flight, क्या होगा ये? I'll use the left function और इसमें मैं यूज करूंगा the flight comma 2. Oh, that does make a difference. Oh, that's just a name of a field. You get the point? I'm getting the first two initials of the flight over here. I've created a new field. Examiner could ask you that. और हमने डिस्कस किया हुआ ये functions. We did is this. If you can see clearly. Left. Let me copy notepad and discuss this with you. We are not discussing all XXL के functions. I'm not. I won't be ridiculous with you guys. मगर जो important है, I will do that. जो syllabus में है. Left is a function, comes in bracket. Flight is a field name that comes in the square parentheses. I'll repeat again, which I've told you so many times, that square brackets are used for your databases. Your curly brackets are always used for your scripting, CSS and JavaScripting. And your brackets are always used for your functions. Yes or no? You have to remember the rule. So am I not doing that? Please don't break the rule. ठीक है? We'll remember this. ठीक है? Mid use कर लेंगे. I'll do that for you. I'll use over here is mid. Two characters from the mid. Here you go. I get is second से start हुए और second third दे दे. It's doing that. I could even use the right. I could use anything. So you've learned how to create a new field at runtime that could extract strings from an existing field. What do I mean by string? Haris. What do we mean by string? Don't tell me, Rasi. What's a string? String is a computer word, computer science technology. That means whenever multiple characters are joined together, it's known as a string. Okay? Haris 1 2 3 at the rate of. It's a string. कोई भी characters साथ में join होंगे उनको strings कहते हैं, ठीक है? So you can extract anything out of a string using this function, ठीक है? String का word याद रखना हमेशा. Oh, but doing more. You should know is the following. For example, over here I have is the A state, yes or no? Could I go back to the other database for a second? Because it's my year एक ही है. I can't explain you through this. So I have to revert back to my precious database. Car sales and this, okay. And I will use registration date. मैं सिर्फ registration date use कर लेता हूँ. Okay. What if ये आपकी registration date है? What if exam में question आता है? Create a report that will do the following things, and one of that following thing क्या है? One of that following thing is tell us how many years have passed till today registration की. How many years the car has been registered. Create a new field at runtime that displays the years of registration. You get the question, huh? I want another field to be created और मुझे बताए कि आज की डेट तक, आज 2017 चल रहा है, मुझे बताए कितने years हो गए हैं. कितने years हो गए obviously you wouldn't know. I should not be asking you. इसके लिए you should be aware of the fact कि there is a function known as now that tells you right now क्या time, क्या minute, क्या hour, क्या date है. This is a now function. You get the point? I don't want the time and the date. I have another function I get is just the date. I don't want the time, seconds वगैरह. ठीक हो गया? So you're very well aware of the fact कि I have is a function known as the date. Date क्या करेगा मुझे? आज की date बता देगा. तो आंसर आ गया हमारे पास. अगर मैं ये करता हूँ, या नहीं, I'll make it as years, and I can, मैं डायरेक्टली भी कर सकता हूँ. Date minus date. You get the point. What is this? Date is a built-in function.
ये डेट के बाद जो ब्रैकेट
Square. Okay, proper brackets. कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि it's function. It's a built-in function within Access that will tell me today's date. ठीक है? अगर मैं आज की डेट में से माइनस करता हूँ रजिस्ट्रेशन डेट, तो मेरे पास ऑब्वियसली क्या आएगा? ये आएगा. What is this? Days. Days है. So I want the years, na? So I need to do is I'll put this within brackets. 365 I get is the years. 14 year. नहीं, एग्जामिनर मुझे कह रहा है आप मुझे होल नंबर years में बताओ, राउंड करा के या जो भी है. I'll use over here. Very simple.
सर प्रॉपर्टी शीट वगैरह नहीं करता
हाँ?
इंटीजर ये प्रॉपर्टी शीट वगैरह जाकर सेट कर देना है.
क्यों? प्रॉपर्टी में नहीं, आप फंक्शन ही तो करना पड़ेगा आपको. You get the point. Years आ गए हैं, कोई मुश्किल बात इसमें नहीं है. इट्स प्रीटी इजी. देखो अभी आपने लर्न कर लिया ना, अब आपके ज़हन से नहीं निकलेगा पॉइंट. डोंट वरी, यू विल नो हाउ टू डू इट नाउ. सो व्हाट आई हैव डन इज लेट्स लुक एट इट. इट्स नॉट समथिंग दैट आई एम टीचिंग यू जो टोटली बहुत डिफरेंट हो. हम यू डू नो व्हाट INT इज. आई एम कन्वर्टिंग इनटू होल नंबर बिकॉज दिस वाज द रिक्वायरमेंट. I got the days, I want the years, I divide by 365. इस मुश्किल का काम क्या है? आपको सिर्फ रूल्स याद रखने हैं कि fields have to be in this, function has to be in this. That's it, हमें सारा पता है.
जो डेट के बाद वाली ब्रैकेट
कौन सी वाली? ये
के बाद ब्रैकेट
नहीं, ब्रैकेट है ना, ये ब्रैकेट है.
फंक्शन क्लोज कर
फंक्शन नहीं क्लोज नहीं किया हुआ है. ये ब्रैकेट्स है ना. When you define a function, अकेला फंक्शन, यू डोंट हैव टू डिफाइन द पैरामीटर्स विद इन अ फंक्शन. डेट का मतलब मुझे आज की डेट दे रहा है, इसके अंदर पैरामीटर्स में डिफाइन नहीं कर रहा लाइक लेफ्ट राइट और मिड. वो हम एक्सेल में करेंगे.
चीज तो खत्म करने के दो ब्रैकेट्स खत्म बात नहीं
या कर दिया ना, ओपन एंड क्लोज.
करते ये है.
That's
अगर
it.
ये ना लगाए तो क्या होगा?
It won't work. You have to tell कि you're using a function by the name of date that gives me a date. Access knows when you use left function. Access knows when you use the mid function. उसको left function भी पता है. Access को सारा कुछ पता है. You get the point? Access को ये भी पता है कि if I come here, let's say if I come here and look here, if I create a new field by the name of name, Access को पता है कि I cannot. The name you supplied is a reserved word. Is a reserved word. Access कहता है आप जो नाम यूज कर रहे हो ना, name, you cannot use it for any field because it has been used in the Access की programming में. Access को पता है. If I have to make a new field that will have the name, I will have to name it as S name or something else. Name मैं use नहीं कर सकता. Okay? You get the point. Reserved keywords चीज होती है. Right. So we just discussed was this. Any particular problem with this? No, I'm not discussing so many with you, don't worry. मैं basic ही discuss कर रहा हूँ, okay? Very basic. So if the examiner says that you're supposed to get the month out, we have done this in Excel. We have, I'll get the month out of this date, the months. Okay? You want the months only. If you want the year, all you do is just इसकी जगह लिख दो year. You get is the year. Day लिखो, you get the day. So you know how to create a new field at runtime that can display the month, the day, the year, and what if you have time in second as well? You have function known as hour, you have function known as minute, you have function known as second. Excel में किए थे ना? याद है आपको? So you can create a new field at runtime that can take out any of the following hour, minute, second, month, day, year out of a particular date. Any issue with that? It's nothing of big confusion, is it? ठीक हो क्या? Okay. So I'll just make a list of the functions we have discussed till now, and let me add more to it. We have discussed is mid, right, left, month, day, year, hour, minute, second, एक second. Second, I discussed was the date as a function. I did. I discussed with you was the now as a function. Yes or no? Right? Hold on. There will be more. एक दो रहते हैं. Yes, एक दो रहते हैं. We wait कर लो. Please wait. नहीं उनकी जरूरत नहीं है. कॉम्प्लिकेट हो जाएगा. If डिस्कस कर लूँ, if you will not vomit, बहुत कम चांस आने के मगर आ सकता है गेम. नहीं वो नहीं आएंगे. बहुत फंक्शंस हैं मगर मैं सारे नहीं करा सकता आप लोगों को. इसमें if नहीं होता, इसमें double IF होता है. It's if because if is again a reserved keyword within the programming of access. If आ सकता है और if का बड़ा रोल है. नहीं बेटा वो गलती से मैंने लिख दिया. It doesn't matter. आप small भी लिख दो it will work. Access खुद पिक कर ले तो उसको पता है. अच्छा, let's talk about if. ये ज़रा ज़रूरी हो सकता है. आप एग्जामिनर कह सकता है आपको कि if the years are greater than 12, then he is experienced, otherwise not experienced. Okay? Just for the sake of argument. You get the point? So, Alright, E and C. Experience, sorry. I want is if, and we are saying is if the year था ना, years is greater than 12, comma, so here you go. It shows me experienced or new. How is it working? Through the if. I cannot, the double IF, I cannot use single if. If I do that, it says, if I run this, undefined function if. वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता, वो कहता है if के नाम से कोई फंक्शन है ही नहीं, है मगर within its programming. How is it working? Have a look over here. That's how it's working. If double IF, it's just like if. This is condition. If the years is greater than 12, then वही Excel वाला कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं है इसमें. It's not something very technical, is it? What? Hard, है ना? Easy है ना? But we know now we have an option available that can create a new field at runtime within our report that is dependent upon a condition. Very good. हमें काम और करना आ गया है. Dependencies पे we can do something, right? These are all important functions within your data manipulation. They are all important. It's not something out of the course, please. आपको ये आना चाहिए. ठीक है? Right. Right. Any further question you have till now? Any further question? Are you sure? Right. देखो. By the way, you can use round, round up, round down and int. मैंने obviously लिखे नहीं थे मगर पता है इस बात का आपको. That's it. और मैंने और नहीं लिखूंगा, मैं और नहीं लिखूंगा. int तो लिखा हुआ था मगर ये राउंड्स वाले भी ज़हन में रख लेना. ठीक है ना? Forcefully rounding down, forcefully rounding up. Okay. You know the difference between round and int?
Yes, sir. वो ठीक है, but round आप एक decimal आगे कर देते हैं.
दोबारा एक्सप्लेन करो. राउंड क्या करता है?
सर वो एक decimal आगे कर देते हैं उसको. Round up जो होता है.
int अगर मैं लिखता हूँ 2.3 तो इंटीजर क्या करेगा?
2 कर देगा.
अगर 2.8 होगा?
2 कर देगा.
वेरी गुड, एक्सेलेंट बॉयज. सही कह रहे हैं, सही कह रहे हैं. INT का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि INT 2.8 और 2.3 को एक ही चीज समझता है, मगर राउंड क्या करता है? क्योंकि 2.4 होगा उसको 2 करेगा, 2.6 होगा तो उसको 3 कर देगा. राउंड इज इंटेलिजेंट इन अ वे. मगर अपने फोर्सफुली करने का 2.1 है तो राउंड अप, फोर्सफुली डाउन करना है तो राउंड डाउन. ठीक है? द मोस्ट मैं इसको स्टॉप कर देता हूँ. बल्कि I'll stop